you know what? Actually, can I get a little bit of the edamame with that as well? Yeah, some of that and some of that seaweed salad. And if you have extra wasabi, that'd be fantastic. All right, cool. 10 minutes? Nice. I'll be there in 10. Sounds like a plan. All right.
Yo, dude.
My man!
What's going on? You kind of really scared me with that thing.
Oh, speaking of which, put that up for me.
Okay, yeah, sure. Wait, do you actually trust me with this thing?
No,
You know what? Besides the point, what are we cooking tonight?
Actually, I just ordered some sushi.
Oh,
yeah.
Sushi? Nice! Did you get a California roll?
I got 2.
Did you get a dragon roll?
I got 1.
Did you get the avocado one?
Hell no.
Good, my man!
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going right there. I'm going to pick it up. And we'll do that. And then should be good, man. We got some people coming over. So we'll crush that first.
Okay, wait. Not that shit little Chucky's coming over. The ginger kid, right?
No, not
Okay,
again.
yeah,
Not after
yeah,
last time when
yeah,
we got
they-
into those fucking banana peel things.
Oh my god, I'm telling you, man, it's just a freaking disaster, man. And hey, by the way, what do you think about watching the Babadook later?
Not gonna happen. That movie sucks ass, dude.
Well, no, it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't like it. You like that movie?
Yeah, hey, be careful, man.
Anyway, I only got a few minutes to pick up the sushi, man.
Okay.
You watch the Babadook on your own time. We'll watch some better time.
Okay, I'll set up the table.
All right, please do.
Okay, good. Man, I really do prefer the Babadook, though.
Surprise, Birdie! Surprise, Birdie! Surprise, Birdie!
Yo!
Hello, Brad.
Who is this?
I think you know.
Oh yeah, come on, Birdie. I know it's you, man. Quit fooling around.
I'm a fan of the Babadook.
Dude, we're not gonna watch the Babadook tonight. Let's not even go. Let's stop. Okay, let's just get some sushi. It's gonna be fine, but we're not gonna do the Babadook. I don't want to do that. Stupid movie, anyway.
I'll tell you what, you play my games, and I'll tell you all about the people I've killed. And by the time you get back, I'd have gutted your friend. You better hurry.
Yeah, I'm sure. Okay. Alright, Mr. Scary Ghostface, let's play these games. Okay.
Don't keep me waiting.
Alright, Scary Man.
I'm gonna slit his eyelids in half.
Okay, fine. Alright, you talked me into it. I'll be there in like 2 minutes. Just let me get turned around, and I'll be there. No time. No time whatsoever, man.
I'm gonna slit his eyelids in half so he doesn't blink when I stab him in the face.
I'm gonna fly. I'll be there in no time. Alright, cool.
You'll die when I want you to, Brad. Not a moment before. Until then.
Yeah, dude, give me 30 seconds and I'll be there. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Oh, there's the chopsticks. Let's see here.
The only way to do this, man, you gotta get a snack whilst en route to sushi, man. I'm sure Brett's not done setting that shit up anyway, so it's gonna take 28 minutes just to get fucking started. Damn, I always pick the wrong lane too, man. Every time. What is going on with me today? My decisions are not good. I'll tell you what. This is gonna be a long trip.
Okay, that's a matching pair.
Okay, I'm gonna get just a large fry and one of the strawberry cream pies.
That'd be all.
That'll be it.
There are my dishes. Perfect.
They're gonna say, Brad, why are you so full? It's just sushi. And I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna let them know. They don't need to know that I got fries on the way to get the sushi. They're smart, that's what you do. You don't want to get too full on fish. It's not good. The fries, nice little carb, good to go. Nice. Cream pie in here. Oh, hey, you know what? We're probably gonna need some beer too. Might as well stop here. Take it back. Do 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 do. Take it back like a fool.
tobacco. Worcestershire. Sesame oil. There it is. Yeah. Alright.
What now, dude? This has been a whole fucking day of these shenanigans. What the fuck? Do you remember when you told me you loved me, baby? Baby, 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 oh baby, I love you.
How do these things work anyway?
And what the hell? Can't get home? Damn. Taking our time, taking our time, taking our time with the stop sign, man. Taking our time. Much appreciated. All right, should be back in no time.
Hello, birdie.
Fuck! I forgot to get the sushi though. God dang it, that's the most important part.
Welcome to the cutting room floor.
Screen by in here.
What is going on, guys?
Pie in there?
You always got to look out for one of those, man. What's going on, guys and gals? And welcome to Good Real Hunting. We have the good real, so you don't have to. It's your boy Brett. Brett Man's right over there. We are up to Scream 5 here on our Scream review series leading up to the release of Scream 6 this week, man. Really exciting. We've had a good time so far. And this is one I've been excited to kind of revisit since it came out. So we're going to have some fun today, man. We're going to have a lot of good times.
Oh, dude, absolutely, we're gonna have good times, man. And dude, we already got somebody mad at us in the chat.
Yeah, dude. Sorry.
We didn't go to McDonald's. We went to a place called Marley's that kind of looks like McDonald's. But unfortunately, where we were at, there was no Applebee's. So unfortunately, we couldn't go to Applebee's or else we would.
B Apples. Yeah, we went there.
Yeah, man, the freaking Big Apple, man. So, yeah, guys, I'm super freaking excited to go over Scream 5. Definitely one of my favorite movies from 2022. And we're going to get all into the freaking details about that here in a minute. But since that was a long skit, which we really enjoyed making that skit, let's say hello to the chat. We'll freaking get things speed along here. We got Lamontre. What's going on? Yeah. Officially Scream 6 week, man. I'm freaking excited, dude. Hail to the yeah. Yo, Adrian, how you doing? We're going to talk about Scream 5 today, you know? Good Real Hunting. We don't know those ass hats. Gory Tiger, what's going on? Brother Flood, we say hello to you as well, but you do say that the Babadook does suck ass. I actually like the Babadook, but that'll be for another time. Let's see here. We got Kyle from Return of the Living Flit. Yeah, be sure to check out his Scream 5 review that dropped earlier today. His link is in the description down below. And along with Chris's friggin' Letterboxd review. Do it after this particular stream. And we got Rosie. What's going on, my dear? Here is your rose. And I saw someone here. Oh, there he is. We got freaking Mark Jones. What's going on, Mark Jones? We got Aaron Click. He felt that seatbelt situation before. Trust me, it's happened to the best of us.
I felt all those situations, man. That was real footage.
Oh yeah, dude, absolutely. And then of course we got freaking Matt Fauci. What's going on? I will be on his channel Wednesday to watch Scream 5 along with Destiny as well. So that will be on Wednesday over on his channel.
Bunch of sexy sons of bitches.
Hell to the yeah, dude. And then, oh wait, just want to make sure. Okay, that's nobody new. So, Brad, before we officially get started, of course, I always want to thank our Lefty Patreons, our real hunters. They are the official backbone of this channel. They make the channel run, man, time and time again, just like a good Scream movie. Oh, Mr. Reliable. So if you want to be reliable to us or us to rely on you, the Patreon link is in the description down below. Click on it, collect the tier, or not collect, select the tier, any tier to your choosing, so you all can be a real hunter today. But we also unleashed our friggin' YouTube membership program. So if you want to not be on Patreon, but you want to do this for YouTubing, you can be a YouTube member. We got these fine gentlemen being our representation of that. Again, so you can be a real hunter today.
Yeah, and if you want to help us find the good reels, you can do so by funding us. I don't know where I was going with that, but still, if you can't be on Patreon or the membership, that's okay. We just appreciate you being here, liking the video, sharing, subscribing, all that fun stuff really helps out tremendously. So if you can do that for us, much appreciated. And no pun intended, but maybe you could stab it, if you will, the like button, that is.
You freaking sneaky devil. Don't stab it 8 times, though, because we don't like stab 8 on this channel. And Jamie Hard, what's going on? Saying, I watched this for the first time last night. Live reaction on Destination Station. That is freaking perfect timing because we are going to be talking about Scream 5 today. And we are indeed going to be like in spoilers, but we'll let you know when the spoilers start. But before we start those freaking bad boys, let's look over our movie facts real quick. Let me get a deep breath here. Scream 5 was released on January the 14th of 2022 with a 6.3 out of 10 on the IMDb, which I thought that was a pretty good score. 3.4 out of 5 on the Letterboxd, where most of the votes come in at a 4. At the tomato meter, it is 76%. It is certified fresh, and an 81% with the audience. $24 million budget, and the box office with the domestic reaching 82 million and globally 140 million. So great success. And of course, our directors are Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillette from Radio Silence, and of course, we got the cast of Neve Campbell, David Arquette, Courtney Cox, along with the addition of Melissa Barrera, and of course, the most red-hot star in Hollywood, Jenna Ortega.
Yeah, buddy, man. A lot of good people in this movie. And yeah, I like all these numbers here, man. This is actually, I think it's the 3rd highest Rotten Tomato movie in the franchise, if I'm not mistaken, behind the first 2 movies. So
Correct.
That's cool to see. It's cool to see it return to glory at this point. And yeah, even the audience liked it. And we'll have the audience score for you guys as far as horror fans here later tonight. And of course, you guys will be scoring the letter grade too. So
yeah, so be sure to freaking vote in the poll, man. And then Brad, let me turn this banner off real quick so you can freaking start with your fresh Rotten Tomatoes review that you found.
Yeah, man, this guy is Chase Hutchinson. He's from the Inlander up in Spokane, Washington. He's a nice guy. He said, whether you want to call it Scream 5 or simply Scream, one thing is certain. The film is a bloody and brash experience, an absolute treat that easily carves out a place as one of the best in the series. Couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I think this goes in the top half of the franchise for sure.
Hell yeah, dude. And I know why you select the good Chase here, just because he has a similarity in eyeglass wear that you wear.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. He likes more blood. He's a guy that likes more blood for sure, man.
Very exquisite taste, man. So yeah, I agree with Chase. So good job picking that one. I got freaking Dallas King from Flick Feast, and he says guaranteed to have audiences shrieking and jumping out of their seats. Scream is the most brutal, bloodiest, and the best film since the original. And I cannot agree anymore. So Dallas King, you are the king as of this moment.
Yes, hell yeah, man. Much appreciated. I agree too.
Yeah, but unfortunately, with our fresh reviews, we have to go with some of the rotten ones. So, Brad, who is your most rotten critique?
I got Chauncey K. Robinson from the Twisted Girl Next Door. Cool name, but let's see what she has to say here. The movie is an unnecessary addition to the franchise with newer characters you will quickly forget. Its saving grace is the return of legacy characters that we have come to know and love. She gave it a D. I'm guessing that's about as bad as it gets, minus the F. And here's what I'm going to say about it, man. I disagree, man. I think this movie gives us some of the best new characters we've seen in the franchise since the first movie. I definitely prefer it to the characters in 4. And yeah, I could say the same thing for 3. And yeah, I mean, I think the new characters they threw in here are really solid.
Sorry, I just got distracted the whole time with her freaking cat ears. Like,
Well, she likes those. Yeah.
Well, she is pretty twisted. But you know what? I totally disagree with her with the whole newer characters being forgettable because I still remember them. So let's go ahead and go with my freaking rotten review from Chris Thale from Gawker. And yeah, I could already tell you I select this guy because of his eyeglass wear. Not very strong game right there. But he does say this Scream is the burnout C student younger sibling of a former valedictorian. Well, yeah, good job trying to use freaking complex words to freaking stutter me. But it didn't work, my friend, and your rotten review is spoiled rotten, and it does not make any sense whatsoever. What are you talking about a burnout? I think Scream is more popular than ever.
I think so too, man. I think so too. It revitalized the franchise, and obviously it made money, and yeah, it started a whole new run of movies probably. So we'll see. We'll see. But
Yeah,
I think he's wrong here.
Yeah, absolutely. He's freaking wrong. So, guys, before we really freaking dive into things here, we're going to let you know we have a rule on this channel. If a movie is less than 5 years old, we are going to throw out some spoiler warnings. So, this is the times. If you have not seen Scream 5, be sure to watch that movie and come right back here and listen to our thoughts about Scream 5. And of course, we got our boy, Darth Stewie, to give us the official message.
No, hang on. Spoiler alert. Okay.
Thank you, Darth Stewie. And there's the big red thing up below Brad, too. So we're officially going to spoiler territory. Without further ado, Brad, let's freaking talk about that opening scene.
Dude, let's talk about it, man. This thing opens with the classic phone ring. Something like, well, I don't know if we've had it. I mean, not like this, not since the first movie as it opened with the actual phone ringing like that, I don't think. So I think that was really cool. Just really going back to the roots right out the beginning, which is a good thing. And, you know, Jenna Ortega's there, man. She answers the phone. It takes a couple tries. It's a landline. Nobody answers those. I still call BS that she answered it anyway. But either way, she does. She goes on, and we see right from the beginning how good she's going to be in this movie. You know, she has a lot of charisma. She's right up there. I think this rivals, in my opinion, this is the best opening since the first movie. Even rivals that to some extent, but it's not obviously going to beat it. But I think it's definitely the best, most effective opening. You know, we get some good new commentary on some new horror movies, new modern horror movies and things like that, which I think were good.
You got to use the right term. I know a lot of people hate it. I'm going to say it anyway because I'm Mr. Controversial here. Freaking elevated horror. That's what we're referencing to.
It is, man. They're talking about, you know, the witch and the Babadook and all kinds of fun stuff gets referenced here. I mean, it goes on for a minute, but it's good. It's all effective. Like I said, she carries the scene really well. Roger L. Jackson's back in the voice, does a very good, solid job here as well. It's a very good, engaging conversation. And at the end of the day, I thought it was a fantastic callback. When it came time to actually attack Jenna Ortega, I thought it was rapid. It was brutal. It was no holds barred. I thought this was a really good job right out the gate of making Ghostface look intimidating again, and intense and scary, and you know, some really good effects there as well. I thought overall everything with that kill was really effective. Well, not kill per se, but that attack.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. I agree with Mark Jones saying my favorite opening since the first one. I 110% agree with that. And as you'll possibly hear me reference throughout the entire time of this review, this is pretty much Scream 5 or Scream 2022 or 5 Cream, whatever you want to call this movie. This is just an
Cream pie,
ultimate
5
love.
cream pie.
No, stop. I'm still waiting on that damn sushi. But yeah, so pretty much what this movie is an ultimate love letter to the original of 96. It really truly is. Like you see so many nods and like respect moments that they give to Scream to the original Scream in 96. So I've just the boys of Radio Silence really did an excellent job with this movie throughout. But with the friggin' opening, dude, is freaking we have our check marks. Jenna Ortega is this generation's Drew Barrymore. We got the freaking girl alone answers the landline. Like, dude, the similarities are there. She's talking, Drew Barrymore talk about the classic horror movies. Jenna Ortega talk about the elevated horror movies. So it does an excellent job of like, and of course, we'll talk about the recool term later on. But yeah, dude, love the opening scene. Jenna Ortega, or it's Tara Carpenter in this movie, that's her character's name. She gets her absolute ass handed to her in this opening scene. And dude, I thought she was a goner, man.
I did too, man. It was brutal as hell. It's honestly, it's one of the more brutal kills we would have had. And you know, the way she, you know, gets her freaking bones broken and everything. She does survive it, which we find out here in a minute. But it was cool. It was really, really solid. And I like the way they called back to the first stab movie and how that opens up. And that's kind of what kicks off this whole thing too, is what makes it intense.
Release the Shrimmer cut.
Yeah, dude, I want the swimmer cut, man. I really want to see that shit. But yeah, it was really effective. Like I said, very, very good. You know, callback and homage. Even this whole movie, you could tell from the beginning it's in good hands. But then we go out, we get introduction to new characters, man. First peeps we meet is Richie, and of course Sam. They're employees at this bowling alley. Sam gets the phone call saying that your sister's been freaking slayed, but she's still alive. And basically confirming this is the sister of Tara who we just saw in the opening there.
Yeah, man. We get them, and of course, we get Sam Carpenter is her name. Wonder where that kind of relation come from of what we call Samuel Loomis and John Carpenter. No. So there you go. That's of course another nod. Of course, we're keeping our traditional nods to the Halloween franchise, which that's what the original Scream did as well. So again, more freaking respect to the Scream movie. And want to get a couple of comments real quick before we go to the hospital scene. Chad, what's going on? Saying Kirby sucks. She really, really sucks. Well, you suck too. So have a good day, Chad.
I know, Chad. I'm with you, dog. Let's get on that train together.
Oh man! And then Jamie says, "I love the movie except for the one thing is the motive. It sucked. It might grow on me over time, maybe. And we are definitely going to talk about that motive because I know me and Brad might have a differential of opinion on that. So, but we will talk about it." And then Aaron Click says, I don't mind the term elevated horror. If that term ticks you off, you're misinterpreting the intent of the label. So, yeah, exactly. I think a lot of people are just like, oh, like, just because, like, it's elevated, it's, like, not for me because I'm not a smart horror fan. That's not what it means. It's just challenging you just to think about that particular horror movie, in my opinion.
Sure, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, so all right, Brad, we're going to the hospital. What's going on at the hospital?
We get introduced to the rest of the kind of core group of characters here. We meet Wes, Amber, and of course Deputy Hicks is there. We find out that Wes's mom, that's Wes's mom, Deputy Hicks from the first movie. Right out the gate, she already seems like a completely different character than she was in Scream 4, and I think that's a good thing. She was a little quirky in that movie, and she seems a little bit more just kind of real here. I think we find out here she's also the sheriff, no longer Deputy Hicks, aka. So she's the sheriff now, which makes you wonder what happened to Dewey. We'll find out here soon enough. But right in this opening scene, kind of like the first Scream when they're sitting by the fountain. Again, not quite as good, but it does an effective job of setting up a bunch of red herrings right out the gate. I mean, you're looking at Mason, Cal Gallner's out there. This is when they're at the school before they go to the hospital, but still, it's all the same. Both of them are really solid red herrings they set up right out the gate, and I think they continue to do that throughout this whole sequence after they go to the hospital as well. The whole new cast is there together in Tara's room, and I thought it was interesting that as Sam walks into the room, they all kind of stand up, and Amber who we'll find out later to be the killer, is the one closest to Tara in that group. So I thought that was kind of cool.
We were trying to build up the anticipation.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
but
man,
we
but
all
yeah.
know it.
Yeah,
So we got to
know it. I'm
commentate
sure
on it.
we're on like our 4th or 5th watching the movie by now. So yeah, you're good, dude. I was just busting.
Well, that's one thing I just noticed that was cool on rewatch. Is those little subtle things like that where she's like the one person that's closest to her. There's something else coming up in a bit, but it was cool. It's a little bit of foreshadowing almost, I think. So it was nice. And we also get Sam and Tamara reunited after some time apart. The two sisters. Tamara, who the fuck's Tamara?
Yeah, actually, I could tell you who Tamara is, but it's Tara.
Is she home?
But yeah, they get a moment. So they get a moment, and Tara starts breaking down. She was so scared, and Sam's like, "Oh, I'm not going to leave you." And then that's when we get our newer core characters to the bar, and they again, kind of Brad, like you alluded to, kind of like set up the whole big red herring situation, like setting them up and trying to throw you off of who's the killer, who's not the killer, potential suspects, If then freaking Kyle Gallner's character decides to cause freaking trouble, and they all get kicked out. Kyle's now peeing on a wall. And then suddenly we get freaking blaring in the freaking car, Red Right Hand, which that is a freaking amazing to hear at the theater, freaking all spooted up. And then Ghostface gets one good jab in the freaking jugular, man. The freaking jugular. And then, yeah, man, freaking Kyle Gallner goes down. Early elimination for a high suspect in this movie.
He was one of mine for sure. If you go back and watch our videos, he's a creepy son of a bitch. But he died here. And I thought this kill in general was nice. The way it was lit, the way it was executed, the music choice. We know these people are fans of the Scream franchise, just from what we can hear there with him playing that song. So that was all really effective and well done. Let me go back and say, Chris Snyder's in the house. He said, "Hello, Birdie," and I think it's time. Thank you, Chris, for helping us out with all the skits thus far. You're looking at the actual the ghost of voice, the ghost of voice face, dog.
Oh my god!
You never know who that's going to be.
Much. But yeah, Chris Snyder did the voiceover for Ghostface, and you know what? If you ask us, we almost prefer Chris Snyder over freaking Roger L. Jackson, man. That's how great of a job freaking Chris did. So, Chris, thank you so much for your amazing contributions to the voice of Ghostface in our freaking skits, and we appreciate you.
Yeah, dude, keep rocking, man. I think it's time we unveil that more towards the end. Actually, I don't think his voice won't be in Scream 6. And don't worry, unless something really crazy happens, there's not going to be any spoilers in a Scream 6 skit.
Yeah.
It's a little out there, but anyway.
It is. I want to get to it real quickly. We got Mega Cat in the house, Gavals, and Metallic in the chat. What's going on there, guys?
Yes. Welcome to the party, everybody. Glad to see you here. All right, now we're going back to the hospital, though. Richie's there. He's watching Stab. He's trying to get caught up, per se, on the Stab movie. He's trying to have a good time. Overall, I liked Richie's character quite a bit in this movie. I think he was in my top 10 horror characters from 2022, if I'm not mistaken. Really enjoyed him throughout the movie. This was a good example of that. Sam's also at the hospital. She goes to freshen up a bit, and she sees Billy in the mirror, which that was cool. Seeing our boy Skeet come back, Ulrich, for a nice little cameo, and he's all throwing some hints, dropping hints about her past. Like, hey, when are you going to tell him? Yeah. It was cool. It created some questions, and I like it.
Oh, dude, it absolutely create questions of why does he look the way that he looks? Like, they really heavily put in the freaking de-aging tool on this, which I understand why, because they're trying to make him look like the Billy from the original, but just in my opinion, it did not work here. But I do love the inclusion of Billy with the particular storyline we have for Sam and the connection there. That I didn't mind. It's just the whole presentation, the look of it is what kind of throws me off a little bit.
Yeah, but what are you going to do, man? It's been 20-something years. I mean, it's just one of those things. There's really no way to do it perfectly. You just got to do it, man. You just got to do it. Yeah. Aaron, you can definitely use Voice Face as a band name. Just, make me a producer. So yeah, that's...
Yeah, so after that, we get Ghostface making the very first phone call to Sam, and Sam immediately not playing this bullshit game. Kind of like a resemblance of Sidney Prescott, which great, but in her own right. Which again, congratulations, making Sam her own character versus like a straight out copycat. And then that's when freaking Ghostface is like, my
Is she her own
pleasure.
character though when she's a daughter of another major character?
Well, I think in Scream 6 they're going to give her more room to grow and all that. So I'm still on the open ended on that.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, but we get our first Ghostface attack, and Ghostface almost freaking slice and dices Sam, but Sam is able to escape. And then we just get this whole like interview between Judy and Sam, and Judy's like, you're no like really help at all here. So I got an idea. How about once the sun rises, you get out of here and freaking just stop causing trouble for Woodsboro because you've done plenty of enough. Again, more kind of like details added to Sam's backstory.
Yeah, and again, same with Hicks. I think she's a better character here than she was in the last movie. Just more realistic.
Majorly improved.
Yeah, really enjoyed her throughout this flick. Yeah, so then they this is another one. They go out. Sam goes out and talks to. Yeah, Sam goes out and talks to. Whenever she went out to talk to Hicks, sorry, got a little bit ahead. She goes out to talk to Hicks. This is another moment of kind of foreshadowing because she leaves both killers in the room with Tara at this time, which I thought was cool. Again, I didn't notice that on first watch, but on the rewatch, was just interesting the way it all kind of panned out there. So I thought that's
dude,
cool.
especially where Richie's like, oh yeah, I was just in the room just watching Stap on Netflix, and then Amber goes, yeah, nice alibi. Like,
Yeah.
dadgummit, that's dude. The signs they're always freaking there, man.
Yeah, it was. I mean, some of those little subtle things are similar to when Billy and Stu were rocking and rolling. So I like that.
Exactly. Yeah, dude. Again, never nod, man. You keep on seeing freaking nods. You could legit do a drinking game with the amount of nods they do with the original.
For sure, man. I like the scene too. Right around the same time, Tara and Sam are together in the room together after the other two people leave. She tells her about Billy being her dad and how that's what caused Tara's dad to leave. Their mom, and all that was good. I really like that. Just a good moment of building up their characters, giving them some backstory, giving them, a little bit of emotional a connection, I guess, something they can kind of lean on together, I guess. I like that. I thought it was a good character building moment.
Sister bonding.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, sister bonding. And that is when Sam just revealed to Jenna pretty much she was looking for Christmas gifts. Trust me, we were all looking for Christmas gifts at the round time of 13. And then Sam found her mom's journals from high school, and it was turned out that her dad is not actually her dad. She had a little bit of a fling with another boy that she loved, aka Billy. So it is revealed that freaking Sam Carpenter's real dad is Billy Loomis.
Yeah, right. You are. And again, I thought that was a good moment. But then Richie and Sam start talking to each other, and they're like, "Oh," she's like, "Oh yeah, you can leave if you want to." He's like, "Nah, I ain't going anywhere. Let's rock this shit out." And then they're like, "Hey, let's talk to an expert." Then we cut to freaking Dewey in his new trailer. We find out, him and Gail are no longer together. He's no longer sheriff at this point. It doesn't look like he's working. He's doing, he's just kind of sitting there sulking in his trailer, having a good time. And he sits there and he's watching Gail on TV, man. She's doing her show up in New York. And here's what I like, man. I like this movie brings Gail back. The last movie she was delegated to freaking being just some person running around on their own doing crazy shit. Now we get to see that strong Gail character back. I like that. And you see that here in the show. And I also love the fact they throw a nice little joke in there about her bangs as well while she's on the show. So that was funny too.
Yeah, that was great. And of course, we saw little things, with the picture of Gail and Dewey together in that frame, which that's actually a real picture of when they were married at the time of David Arquette and Courtney Cox. And we also finally get some kind of reference to freaking Tatum, Dewey's sister, with her urn and ashes on display, which they finally got that out of the way, which I'm so happy they did that.
Yeah, dude, he was she never got brought up again, really.
Not even a mention.
Other than Dewdrop Boy, whenever they were talking on the phone in the trailer.
Dewdrop.
Yeah, so that was cool. But then Richie and Sam show up, and they're all like, "Hey, man, we got to enlist you in some help, man. We got a freaking Ghostface back in town. We need some assistance. We need somebody who's been there." And he breaks down the rules, man. He says, number one, you always get to look at the love interest as a suspect. Two, it's always going to go back to the beginning. And three, what's the fuck was the last one? It was, it's going to be a member of your friend group. Whoever was the opening kill essentially is going to be a member of that friend group. He got him all right.
Mm-hmm.
He did. He got him all right. He knows what he's doing.
Oh, I know. And freaking Richie at the end, we'll get into details of that. Richie's like, dude, he got it on one freaking go, man. Like, God, you're so gullible. Like, God, man, I cannot wait to talk about Richie in the third act because that's what made me like Jack Quaid and maybe even tune into The Boys. Again, another discussion for later. But yeah, we get all that, and Sam is like, okay, this is why you need to help us because you know these things, you experience these things. What do you say? Let's team up. And of course, Dewey goes, time's up, slams the door in their damn face. And that's when Dewey decides to make a very important phone call to most of everybody's favorite final girl on the entire planet in the horror genre. Sydney Prescott returns after a long absence.
Yeah, dude. They find out, she answers the phone. It's evident they haven't talked in some time. But, we find out she's, a mother now. She's married to a dude named Mark.
Mark Kincaid.
Could be Mark Kincaid from Scream 3.
Hell yeah, I like it.
What would I like to think, man? I think so. So I like that. He's all like, oh, man, it's happening again. But this time something just feels a little different. And it does for him, man. He's got that spidey sense going off, that little tingling thing in the back of his hairs are standing up. And there's a reason for that, which we'll get to here in a minute. But then he's like, don't come down here. Just make sure you have a gun. And she's like, you know what? I'm Sydney fucking Prescott, motherfucker. Of course I got a gun. So that was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a great line. And it's like, just stay out of Woodsboro. And Sydney's like, yeah, I'm not going back, dog. So you're good. Peace with love. And of course, Sydney said the line, of course, saying like, I'm sure glad that they have you. That's the line. Of course, gets Dewey to join team forces with Sam and the gang. And before he does that, he sends a freaking like the most awkward text to freaking Gail. Which, trust me, everybody's freaking been there saying the whole text is like, I shouldn't have sent that. I should have sent that. Trust me, I've had my freaking fair share of it. So we are gathered at the Meeks residence. The whole gang's together. We see freaking Martha again, telling Dewey that he looks, just good to see you there. Just kind of like, again, Dewey looks freaking rough, dude.
But when he showed up at that residence and his beat drop from Scream 2, man, I was so freaking pumped up.
Well, we got it in his first sing as well, but just like very lightly.
Yeah, but this was like, this is full out. Here's your beat. Let's play.
Mm-hmm.
This is Dewey showing up ready to kill some bad guys is what he's doing. So that was cool. I like that. We find out now, here's where things get a little convoluted, man. We find Mindy and Mason, we find out Randy was their uncle. Again, we're really, really stepping into these connections to the first movie at this time. It's almost at this point, this is the one that almost put a little bit too much for me, with just so many connections and things. Yeah. But nonetheless, they were fun characters. It was nice seeing, what was her, Mindy back, or not Mindy, Martha or whatever the sister was.
Yeah, Martha.
Yeah. So that was cool to see her come back. And there was also a Stu connection here. I think Cal Gallner's character was Stu's cousin or something.
Okay, I got this for you. Cal Gallner's character was the son of like pretty much her mother is Stu Mockner's younger sister.
Hell yeah, dude! Thanks for clearing that up for us.
And real quickly, because we got somebody brand new here to Good Real Hunting, Samantha Wake Up Blob. Welcome to Good Real Hunting. I am so happy you stumbled upon our channel. We hope you are going to have a good time here. So everybody in the chat, please make them feel welcome to Good Real Hunting.
Yeah, welcome. Enjoy yourself. Have a good time, and let's rock and roll, man. Have a good time.
And Heather Mozzarella Sticks, and it's Stu's nephew. Yeah, that's what it is. That's the big one. It's Stu's nephew. So we get never tied in, which I kind of agree with you, Brad. We're at a point now, like, okay, it's good to do like a nod with the two main Carpenter sisters and all that. Or I'm sorry, not them. But with somebody else, like with ties to that. But like, yeah, we're just getting to a point where it's a little bit forced. Like, it doesn't bother me that much, but it's definitely noticeable.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that's it's not a big deal. It doesn't really move the movie back. It's just really reaching for those connections, and you see that a lot in these kinds of movies.
That'll be for the
Uh,
next one, Chris. That'll be for Scream 6 on Thursday. Somebody's going to be his brother's father's cousin's former roommate.
his tax attorney too. But yeah, dude. Billy.
But yeah.
Yeah. So then this is where they start talking about all the requel stuff. Mindy does she's
And
kind
what
of
do you think
the
about
Randy.
requels, real quick?
I like the way they explained it. This is actually where the term really originated, was from this movie, if I'm not mistaken, and it's since taken off over the last year. Everybody's kind of talking, oh, this is a requel, this is a requel. So yeah, and it's very much again a modern commentary on what the film industry is doing right now. We saw it with Halloween. They mentioned Halloween in the movie. They mentioned Star Wars, which is another good example. Force Awakens.
That's like the ultimate example of what a requel is. It's the Star Wars. It's the Star Wars sequel trilogy.
And this was just like Star Wars, with the sense of Dewey coming in as that Han Solo older character to kind of guide the new characters along until he bites the dust here in a minute. So but yeah, so another one bites the dust. Oh, but yeah, I like that conversation. That was good. Sam leaves, and then Billy pops up in her back seat.
Yeah, because
like, hey,
real quickly, the reason she leaves is because oh my god, yeah, Mindy was kind of like saying, all right, so who do you think's the killer? It's Sam, because she has the motive to do it. Which, real quickly too, I also like how Wes convinces that Dewey is the freaking the suspect too, just because of the fact like, well, you've been stabbed multiple times, your wife left you could go on a pure rage and just get revenge on everybody. And Dewey goes, well, Wes, how about you are the killer, because that cut deeply. Like just classic Dewey right there.
Made me chuckle, man. But yeah, Sam leaves. She's driving. Billy shows up in the car. He's all like, hey, man, let's get ready to cut some fucking throats together, man. There's all kinds of people, crazy people out there. You need to get your shit together. Don't be afraid. Cut some throats, man, because that's what Daddy does, and that's what you're going to do. So I thought that was a decent little sequence. Yeah, that was a decent little sequence, man. It kicks off my favorite portion of the movie, I think, is when Hicks orders some sushi for her and Wes.
Yeah, man. And so we get some freaking sushi town, and Judy goes get some sushi while Wes is taking a shower. Freaking pretty big day learning about requels and all that, man. That just freaking gets you exhausted too. So he's getting all refreshing up, and Judy gets a phone call from, you guess it, Voiceface. No, I'm just kidding. Ghostface. She gets a call from Ghostface. Ghostface says his traditional thing of like, "What's your favorite scary movie?" And she goes, "I like freaking what? Oh, take on it. What'd she say?
She likes anime and musicals.
Yeah, anime and
like
musicals. Yeah,
animated
which
films.
is a great Judy response, by the way. And then Ghostface like, you know what? You win. I'm going to turn myself over and tell you about the two people I kill. And Judy's like, well, wait a minute. You've only killed one. He goes, yeah. I'm about to get your baby boy. And like, oh my god, like just how everything turns into a complete 180 right there. And Judy just freaking dashes on freaking home, and we get a nice Psycho reference too with the shower.
Yeah, dude, all that was good. And I thought the scene was really tense. I thought this was one of the best moments, the uses of Hicks in the two movies, with her speeding home, man, trying to fly and get there. Really, really tense moment. And this whole sequence from beginning to end, what I tell from this moment on is it's just full of suspense. So I thought it was very effective. She gets there, you're like, oh man, she's gonna save his ass, man. It's all gonna be good, fine and dandy. She's running up to the house, and Ghost fucking Face is outside waiting for her ass. He's hiding behind bushes. Now we're seeing men behind bushes is what we're doing, because he comes busting out of there in the freaking front yard and slays her ass brutally right there on the walkway, man. Freaking balls this character had. I don't know if it was Amber or Richie. It doesn't matter.
I want to say it was Amber, for the fact that she caused that, so it gets all the officers to come to the Hicks residence, so it gives her time to go over to the hospital, because Richie was with Sam right before they went to the hospital. So that's why I want to think it was Amber that did the round of killings of that one. But yeah, I definitely love that scene. That scene did actually make me jump a little bit, because I was not expecting a daytime death like so out in the public, which again kind of answers the question, where the hell is everybody everybody in the middle of the day, not hearing Judy freaking scream. Like, like where the hell is everybody? But we get that. And yeah, also another great Scream reference. We get freaking sparkly Ghostface back.
Oh yeah, dude, I like that, man. I like that that quite a bit, man. Hey man, Chris Snyder's sending in $5, man. Let's celebrate that. Let's get a little celebration for that one for sure.
Yeah.
I'd buy that for $1.
That makes me laugh every fucking time, man. But yeah, go ahead and read this comment and I'll work on the banner.
Much appreciated. Chris said, should Mark Kincaid make a return, especially now that we know it's Sydney's husband? I would love that. I think that'd be cool for the third movie in this new trilogy. If they all come back and him being included, I think that would be really badass. If they set it up.
Dude, I definitely want him to come back, and I bet if Sydney would have came back for New York, and because we are dealing with have some detective characters in this movie, Mark Kincaid would easily fit into that freaking mold. But if they're going to do it, I believe Scream 7 is going to be the time to kind of launch that in. But you know what? Only time will tell. But yeah, I would love for Mark Kincaid to come back.
I do too, because he's actually one of the cooler characters of the franchise. One of my favorite parts about Scream 3. So it would be really cool, a welcome and return for me, I think, all day, man. Really, really awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So we get done with Judy's kill, and then we get kind of like some nice good tension building with Wesley sitting at the table, and they are pretty much making fun of the fact of the jump scares coming out of nowhere and all that, and they were making fun of that. And then that's when Wes again double checks the front door, and as he turns around, freaking Ghostface is there and does this gnarly practical effect kill with the whole knife going into this to your cheek, right? Or I'm sorry, to the throat. Yeah, to the neck. Throat.
Yeah,
thank
jugular.
you. Yeah, trust me, I failed that class in high school. But the knife goes through the neck right there, dude. Very gnarly, man. So freaking Wes, he's a goner, man.
Yeah, I found that to be one of the more memorable kills of this movie, and just another example of how brutal Ghostface is in this thing. The kills were really good. That happens, man. Gail shows up. This is when she actually shows back up in Woodsboro. She's out there. They're at the Hicks residence doing the crime scene thing. The news people are out there. She pops up. We see her come back. And again, man, like I said earlier, it's nice to see that badass Gail back, the one that's on top of her shit, the one that, that is,
Botox and all.
Yeah, dude. She does have that, but she's still got that career, man. And it's good to see. It was a good return for her, I believe. And she reunites with Dewey here.
Yeah, man. Her and Dewey, and dude, this is definitely a freaking emotional scene just because it was kind of learned that of course they had lines, but just the sheer emotion, just because again, they used to be husband and wife. So this is the first time in a good while that they got to work together in some capacity. So actually what they were talking about kind of resemble with their real life issues. So it's kind of in a way, it's just dealing with their thing in the past so they could keep moving forward to a happy future, or at least more them working together in the future.
Yeah, and it was just a great moment for the characters too, because they've always been some of the more the people with the most chemistry in this franchise. It's good to see them have one more great moment. We find out that they split up because Dewey essentially didn't she moved to New York to advance her career. It didn't really work for Dewey. They tried to make it work. It didn't. But that makes sense based on what we saw in Scream 4, the kind of the direction their relationship was going. This is viable. It makes sense. I could see why they split up. You could see they definitely still care about each other. They definitely want, they still have that love for each other here, but they just couldn't make it work in this lifetime. But yeah, that was a good sequence, man. And then we cut back to Richie, he's not there with Sam, but he's watching Dead Meat on YouTube. Actually, it's a really cool
supposedly it's Dead Meat, but they call him something else. But dude, I freaking freaked the hell out of the theater. It's oh my god, it's fucking Dead Meat. That whole thing was so fucking cool. Of course, you get your little Easter eggs on the side of the YouTube video, with the obvious one being Kirby. The very first hint that Kirby was coming back to the franchise, and guess what? It happened because the fans really wanted it. So thank you, fans. But yeah, so we get all that, and then that's when Sam realizes that there's nobody at the hospital. All the officers were at the Hicks house. So Sam and Dewey rush it, bat out of hell to get to the hospital because Tara is a sitting duck right now.
She is, dude. And not only she's sitting, she's wheeling while sitting. She scoots over to this wheelchair. And dude, this place is more desolate than Haddonfield back in 1978. This is the most desolate hospital I've ever seen because Ghostface kills the security guard. He shuts off the lights, makes it nice and creepy as she's running around the hallway with his wheelchair and stuff. It's a really cool atmosphere. Again, same qualm you have with Halloween 2. Why is this hospital so dead? But it's really cool and atmospheric and creepy. And I like this moment quite a bit. Again, setting up one of the more memorable moments of this movie. She gets out of there.
And I love the detail of like when Tara was wheeling the wheelchair. We gotta remember she got fucking stabbed in the hand, so you could tell like the blood was going through the bandage with each roll of that wheelchair.
Yeah, it looked painful, man. It did, man. But Richie showed up, solo dolo. He was there by himself, and this is cool. This is just a nice little. I don't know if this was intentional, but as Richie shows up and Tara's all like, "What the fuck you doing here, bro?" Ghostface pops up behind him and stabs him in the arm, pretty much in the exact same spot our boy Derek got stabbed in back in Scream 2, and then he got accused of being the killer because of that. Oh, how convenient, Dewey said. This time, like I said, Richie's going to end up being the killer. Nice little moment of possible foreshadowing. Again, kind of calling back to that Scream 2 movie, I think. I don't know if that was intentional, but it feels like it was because it was such a good callback to that.
Especially when Richie gets hit by the phone by Tara. He goes, "Did you hit me with the..." He was about to say, "Did you hit me with the phone?" Like, kind of like, again, another nod to freaking Steve Mockner.
Oh, it's so good, man. But yeah, he gets knocked down, and then Ghostface is kind of behind Tara. She's wheeling down the hallway. This scene's fucking awesome because Sam calls Richie's phone. Ghosty answers the damn thing. You could see her turn. This was supposedly Amber at the time. She turns on the voice changer. It has that light pop up, which is really cool fucking shit. I like that a lot. He's all
it was
like,
the first time seeing Ghostface talk on the phone, and we actually get to see Ghostface talking on the phone. That was the first in the franchise history.
Yeah, except for Scary Movie though. We saw him.
We don't count that.
That was cool. It was intimidating the way it was shot. Again, that dark hallway. She's scooting. Ghostface is behind her. Ghostface is all like, "Hey, I'm gonna kill one of them. Decide which one." And she's like, "Oh no, I can't do this, Timmy. I don't want to." But anyways, they're basically like, "Oh, you can't decide. Well, I'm just gonna slay them both." And that's when Sam's like, "Well, maybe I was just trying to stall your ass so I could kill your ass," or whatever she said. Elevator opens up. Dewey shoots at his ass, or her ass, I should say. It was cool. Pretty badass.
Yeah, badass. So we get Ghostface and Dewey freaking like dashing it out and all that. And then that's when Dewey gets the upper hand and shoots Ghostface right in the chest. So he gets Tara, Sam, and Richie out of there. And Dewey is going to go with them until he learned one of the most important rules in a horror movie. You gotta aim for the head, kind of like Thanos. So he's been watching Avengers: Infinity War. I'll give you that for Dewey. So he goes back to try to finish the job, and right before he does, ultimate. Oh my God, freaking Gail Weathers calls Dewey, and just that slight moment of distraction, Ghostface stabs our boy Dewey from groin to sternum, like how they describe in the original movie of Steve Mockner. If you take the knife from groin to sternum, and that's exactly how the kill happened. And then, so guys, unfortunately, I'm sorry, Dewey is dead.
Deader than shit. Now, here's what I'll say: I don't necessarily like Dewey here. When the reveal comes later, I just think it's just I don't know. I like the killers in this movie, but it's just like, I don't know. Something about bringing a new character in as Ghostface and killing Dewey just makes my heart a little sad. But at the end of the day, it was a really badass kill. It was memorable. If Dewey's going to go out, make him go out in glory, and this is what he did. Although I do think it would have been cooler if he died in Scream 2 face-to-face with Gale at that window. That would have been a cooler death for the character. But I'm glad he survived because he was great Scream 3, Scream 4, and this movie as well. But yeah, man, at the end of the day, it was very solid, very effective.
Yeah, super effective. And right before we continue on into the third act and when Sydney comes into freaking play, just want to throw out there that Chris Snyder once again being a fucking MVP. Freaking Mega Cat is a fucking Good Real Hunter now on the YouTube membership. So Mega Cat, welcome to the Good Real Hunting family. We will check everything and make sure we get you taken care of, my friend. Enjoy those emojis.
Yeah, buddy. Emojiville.
And
Which, by the way, to those,
Sebastian, what's going on, my friend? Just saw you in the chat. No, man, we're about to dive into the third act, my friend.
hell yeah, man. We're gonna have some fun, man. We're just our skit was a little long this week, so we're a little bit behind, but we're still rocking and rolling, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, Gail shows up at the hospital. Sad moment. She finds out Dewey got slayed.
Which was given away in the trailer, which I was pissed off about.
It would have been cool for them to go into the third act together and see, like, so she could actually see him die.
Oh, dude,
That's a little fucked up for me to
that's
want that
so
on there. But I just think
up.
I think it would have been a cool moment. You know, a very emotional moment that would have had a great payoff. But she shows up after the fact, nonetheless, and it was great because at this point also Sydney shows up, man. And two, I like the idea too. Right before Sydney did show up, Tara was talking like, "Oh, if it wasn't for Dewey's actions, Sam would have been killed," essentially. And yes, you could look at that just in this movie. Dewey gave up his life for Sam, but in the scheme of this franchise, we're basically trading in an old character for a new character, for a new fresh character to keep the torch running. So,
and that is how a requel's supposed to work. I'm sorry, that's how legacy characters are supposed to be used, man. That's a comment that I'll get to after the review.
Sure, man. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
absolutely,
so
man.
yeah, of course we get Sam and Tara, freaking bonding once more, which is a very nice thing of sister bonding, and they decide they're going to get the hell out of Woodsboro because Sam's at a point now where she's running from the situation versus confronting the situation. And that's what Sidney Prescott was trying to tell Sam as they interacted for the first time, which of course I love the Gail Weathers, the ultimate Gail Weathers comment of, hey, listen, new girl, if you're talking about the freaking original, this is the original, which again, major respect for what Neve Campbell has done for the Scream franchise. And then Neve's like, no, it's okay. Like they can go, like, be on their merry way. But Sydney decides to be a little sneaky and put a tracker on the vehicle so they can freaking follow them to make sure that the Carpenter sisters are okay.
Yeah, and lucky for her, Tara left her inhaler over at fucking Amber's house or whatever. So they got to go on a little.
That's like the ultimate, like, oh my god, if you don't know who the killer is at this point, you're dumb. Like that's how I felt.
Yeah, same. So yeah, I thought it was good. They're trying to get out of Dodge. Smart move, but of course they do have to go get that inhaler. So they do go to Amber's house, and that's obviously Sid and them tracks him over there. So we're basically back, at this this big ass house, which looks very familiar from the opening. We'll have the big reveal here in a minute about what this house really means to Scream fans, but even without the reveal, I think we all know exactly what this house is. They're having a party there. They have a nice little moment for Wes Craven. They're doing this
to Wes.
Yes, yeah, it was cool. It was neat, man. It was cool to throw that in there. Actually, in the movie, to be able to have a moment like that was really cool. And yeah, much respect for that.
Yeah, so much respect for that. And then we get pretty much, we got so much going on. So like, we'll let you all watch the movie, but pretty much here's the main thing we'll discuss is Mason Gooding is trying to find his girlfriend after a fight. And again, I love the use of technology in this movie too, with the whole cell phone, like how Tara used it to control the security system at her house. But now we got here of Mason Gooding or Chad using it to try to find his girlfriend with kind of like this app trying to like a locator app. And he goes to it and freaking gets attacked by Ghostface and freaking gets stabbed to freaking smithereens, man. And I'll be honest with you, I feel like Chad should have died at this scene, but I'm kind of glad he's back for Scream 6.
He 100% would have died, I can tell you. He got sliced right in the femoral. He was bleeding out. It doesn't take long to die from that. But nonetheless, he survived. Let's just, maybe put a tourniquet on. He's good to go. He's fine. He's safe. Richie, once they arrive, Richie kicks everybody out of the house, basically just leaving us with the core group of characters there in this household.
Convenient.
Yes. Honestly, I'm just going to cut to the chase, man. It becomes more and more evident that this is Stu's house because they haven't painted this damn house since 1990 fucking 4. It seems like the exact same color scheme on the inside. It's 100% where we're at. We'll have a big reveal here in a minute. It's going to be an epic reveal kind of deal, which is not really. I think we all knew that. Even from the trailer, we could tell. But they do that. Like I said, when when Sid calls Sam in a second,
Sam.
that's when they actually do the official. Yeah, sorry, Sam. That's when they do that official kind of slow motion. Oh shit, I'm in Stu's house moment.
Yeah, with a cool little camera angle, and then that's when all kinds of chaos happens. Where Mindy's watching pretty much her, like watching Snap on the TV of like the exact thing of "Look behind you."
Yeah.
He's behind, which I thought that was so awesome, and Mindy realizing like, oh shit. And then that's when Mindy gets freaking attacked and getting stabbed in the shoulder and all that. And then all the characters are in one freaking room and everybody's accusing one another of being the killer. And then Amber's like, okay, fuck it, I'm the killer. Bam, kills Chad's girlfriend. She goes, welcome to Act 3. And then and again, more chaos assumes. Sydney and Gail arrive on the fray, hearing all the screaming, goes, yeah, that's pretty normal to us, and all that. And that's when Amber comes out, just acting her ass off, shoots Gail, and then Cindy gets that iconic shot in front of Stu Mockner's house after 20 plus years being away from the house.
Yeah, it was a really cool moment. Again, it's kind of just a stretch to imagine that we're back in the same situation. Just when you combine it with everything else, all the connections we've had, it's a little wild, but nonetheless, it's cool. It's cool to be back. It's nostalgic. It's a fun ride. It's a good, it's a safe place to end this movie for the climax, and just really, you're gonna hit some nostalgic beats for people. And I thought it was cool at that moment to see Sid back. And she's kind of a badass now, man. She's going around the house. She's got that gun. She's shooting through doors. First one was the closet. She popped out that first time, which was cool.
Yeah,
smart on her part.
She forgot to check out the other closet behind her as she was shooting that particular closet, because there was a closet right behind her in the original. So a little mess up on Radio Silence's part.
Yeah, that's true, man. But she's going up the stairs. She's shooting through all the doors. She pops freaking Richie's ass, actually his leg. He was in one of those closets. He's like, I'm just in here hiding from the killer. And that's when Amber pops out the other door and fucking throws her off the rail, which was pretty intense.
Yeah, freaking intense, and they took a freaking tumble, and then that's when Sam grabs the gun, and Richie's like, "Oh, thank goodness you got the gun." Bam! He freaking stabs Sam in the freaking gut, and it was revealed that Richie is the second killer. Oh, gee, like, holy crap. And this is, to me, where, like, Richie finally won me over as a character with his complete 180 on his iconic character. Pretty much being a Stu Mockner type character towards the end, with him being, like, absolute, like, freaking crazy with his facial mannerisms. So Brad gets to the point of, what's the freaking motive, man? We gotta have a motive.
Yeah, I agree, man. I thought after the reveals were done and the masks were off for all intents and purposes, no pun intended is what I meant to say. The masks were off. I thought they both knocked out of the park in their performances. Both Amber and Richie were both great. Jack Quaid, really solid, actually. I noticed it on this watch in particular. I was like, man, these guys are really killing this role. The motive was a little silly. They're just basically talking about toxic fandom or whatever for movies and stuff, which we see that all the time here. But I don't know, man. It wasn't a great motive. I thought the reveal was good enough, although it wasn't very unpredictable. I think we all could have guessed both killers. They did a great job after the fact and made it, a decent turn. It wasn't the worst in the franchise like I previously thought, but it's still pretty low. But yeah, it's decent, man. I like what they were able to do with it.
Yeah, and I kind of disagree with you, man, with the fact that I think the motive was actually very reasonable. And again, it's true Scream faction. They are making fun of today's times. And one of the biggest things in today's times, especially within the horror community, is the toxic fandom, especially, and trust me, we all know the toxicity that is the Halloween fandom. Like, that's what they were really like kind of like making fun of. It's just like, it's a real serious issue that should be handled with more care. So I actually really enjoyed the motive. Was it perfectly executed? Absolutely not. But I definitely understood the motive.
Yeah, I don't know, man. To me, it was a little far-fetched. It's among the motives in the franchise. The motive, I think, this is probably the worst motive in the franchise. When you compare them to the rest, I think, obviously the original, fantastic. Okay. The second one makes sense. Obviously, Billy's mother. Third one is dude, that's your brother, for crying out loud.
Oh, I have a brother.
And then the fourth one I thought was pretty weak too, but it's still was at least, yeah, it makes enough sense. This one's just like, come on, really? This is what we've come to. This because I
I'm not
expected
saying
more.
us, brother Fluff. I'm not saying us. I'm saying we. You know who you are when it comes to toxicity.
I talk sexity. Hell yeah, dude. I like that.
Shut up.
But anyway, um, I I don't know. I expected more. I thought the rest of this movie was pretty damn good. So when it came
Mhm.
time to actually, give us the reveal, I expected more. And they're like, "This is all you got? Like, this is it? This is what Dewey was killed for? Was toxic fandom? Come on, get out of here. This doesn't. No, this
Well,
is
it was
stupid."
also like they were trying to remake like a better stab movie, like in a way. So, like again, Amber says, "But we have to kill Dewey because we have to have stakes," which I do agree with that motive. Like, you definitely like need stakes, and God, my what better way to do that than killing off one of the big three characters in the Scream franchise? But yeah, we get all that, and then freaking Tara starts laying loose on Amber with the crutch, and then we have like Amber versus. Oh my God. Gail and Sydney, they're having a big brawl in the kitchen while Sam and Richie are all fighting. And then Amber's like, "Give me the torch." And she goes, "You can have your fucking torch." And then Amber gets set ablaze, man, gets set ablaze. And then we get Sam and Richie fighting some more. And then where all seems lost, freaking Sam looks at the freaking umbrella.
Yes, and she's crawling over to it. I want to point out that I absolutely love the brawl in the kitchen with the three
Me too.
ladies. I thought that was fantastic. It was really well done. It was really cool to see Gail get a moment to blow her away. This one's all yours, Gail. To go send her a copy. They should have thrown that in there. But yeah, she shoots Amber and she blazes up. Is this hand sanitizer? Or when they smash that bottle on her head.
God, my-
Oh, it was, and you're finna find out about it. Finna Fide, that's a good IPA. So yeah, I like that a lot. But yeah, Sam's crawling towards that umbrella again. Nice callback to the original. Richie catches up to her, but then she's had enough. We saw Billy in the mirror as she was crawling, giving a little bit of motivation. It's time to stand up and kick this guy's ass hard, like we used to. And that was cool as hell. And
Yeah, it
she
was
has a
cool.
really, when she slays his ass, brutal as shit, dude. She stabs the shit out of him, blood spraying around everywhere. She gets a freaking nice throat slit. It was really good.
Oh, dude, I absolutely love when Sam freaking unleashed hell on Richie, because we haven't really seen a final haven't even seen Sidney Prescott be that freaking aggressive towards a Ghostface before, and especially with the whole after she gets done stabbing Richie in the throat cut, Sidney goes, "Be careful, they always come back for one good scare," and then that's when Sam gets the gun and freaking starts shooting Richie like crazy until she shoots him in the head. And then that's when Amber freaking burned up shit. She can no longer look good. Freaking comes out and freaking Tara shoots freaking Amber, saying the iconic, giving that one good line, "I still prefer the Babadook."
See, that was bullshit. Gail's never had it. Well, they took that kill from
Yeah.
Gail. This was the first time in the franchise Gail's gotten a kill, if I'm not mistaken. And
No,
it was one.
she helped Sydney kill Mickey.
She helped, but she
Yeah.
didn't kill him. This was the first time in the franchise she actually got a kill to herself, and it was a perfect time to do it. This is the girl that killed Dewey, your best friend. She should have gotten that kill. It was absolutely ridiculous that Tara came in and stole it at the end. Just for another one of these stupid jump scares we've seen many times in the franchise at the end. I know it's kind of the formula, and you kind of got to throw it in. But that's twice, like Scream 3, Sydney's got her kill stolen by Dewey, and now we're seeing it happen to Gail. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, man. And I kind of agree with that, especially kind of like with how Amber killed Dewey. Yeah, that would have been the rightful thing to do, is have Gail kill Amber's Ghostface. So yeah, I agree with that. And they could have had like Tara like killed Richie and then be like, "I still prefer the Babadook," and just kind of fix that. Capital Cookie, this is Gabe. What's going on there, Gabe? How are you doing, my friend?
Hello and welcome. Glad to see you.
Yeah. Yeah, and then after we get all that, everybody's freaking ambulances freaking getting all bandaged up and all that. And then we get one last good moment between Sam with Sydney and Gail. Pretty much at that point, it's called passing the torch, done correctly. I'm looking at you, friggin' Halloween trilogy from 2018 to 2022. I'm looking at you of how to properly do it, passing the torch. The torch is handed down, and we pretty much end the movie. The freaking end.
Hell yeah, dude. That's the end of that. Birdie, I got a score to calculate over here. So if you want to take the reins for a minute and stuff like that, I got to get this fan score.
I'll do my final thoughts in the movie rating and then address a couple of things in the chat. With my overall thoughts, absolutely freaking love this movie. I'll love it with each and more proper watch. Of course, I have to put my critique hat on for this particular watch. And unfortunately, my previous rating of a 4.75 out of 5 went down to a 4.5 just because I noticed some details about the movie that kind of like slows it down. But I absolutely love this movie. It's definitely one of my favorites from 2022 and definitely will be high up on my Scream franchise ranking. Again, that all depends on what happens on Thursday with Scream 6. But definitely love this one. I'm a fan of the original. So again, like I said, this is a love letter for Scream 5. This is a love letter to the original. And definitely the thing I want to capitalize on with the legacy characters, Scream 5 did legacy characters correctly. They served their purpose. They helped enhance the newer characters. They carried the franchise forward. So great job from the legacy characters. Going to give this movie a 4.5 out of 5. Brad, do you need more time?
I am pretty much good. Let me just hit this button real quick.
All right,
Yeah, give me just like a couple more seconds. Yeah.
No, I'll read this comment from Sebastian saying, yeah, the motive was dumb. They made it seem like a bigger deal in the trailer, which I kind of agree with you. They did make the kind of like the motive feel like really crucial. Like someone was coming back from the past, Stu, but it wasn't. You know what? Stu might show up for 6, even though again, we've already claimed on this channel, Stewart is dead or been dead. So we don't think he's coming back. But I wouldn't be mad, but I just don't think it makes sense for him to come back.
I don't either, but I do like I agree that it did seem like it just seemed like it was going to be something bigger than what we got.
Mm-hmm. And Brother Fluff gets this movie a 3.5 out of 5. Sorry. Hey, dude, do not freaking apologize. We love different opinions on this channel.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. All right, I got that in there. As far as my final thoughts go, man, really dug this movie the first time in theaters quite a bit. I tried watching it a couple times since then and never really got through it again. For whatever reason, I just wasn't vibing with it. But this, I watched it again today. Really enjoyed it. So I think from the last time we talked about this movie, it's gone up in my book to be something that I actually thought was quite good. It's definitely one of the better movies in this franchise. It's definitely a love letter to the original movie. It's made by fans of the franchise, you can tell. And I think it's in good hands, man. I like the introduction of the new characters, the new way of going forward. I liked all that. The legacy characters I thought were handled pretty well for the most part. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 4.25 actually out of 5 in a twisted span of events.
Oh man, we were so close. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going back to a 4.75 so we could give this movie its proper rating.
Well, then I'm going to a 4.
Okay, you motherfucker, you. Okay, no, fine. We will do an extremely high Dance with Jimbo.
Yay. Let's see what the fans think. You excited to see what the fans were thinking?
Dude, I'm very curious to see what the fans think on this one. I wonder if it's going to be better than Scream 2 numbers. So release them, Daddy.
Let's look at the numbers, man. So I polled probably, I think, 92 people, I think, on 92 people on Killer Flicks. Of those horror fans, 83% like this movie, Scream 5, which honestly might be the exact same as the critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, if I'm not mistaken. But you guys here tonight have provided an average score of a B+ on the grade scale as well, which I think is really quite solid. That's probably exactly where I would put it as well if I were to give it a letter grade.
Okay,
Maybe
and
A-.
I personally would just give it a regular A in my opinion, but you know what? A B plus, I will accept that. Because a B plus is still really damn good. That means it has very extremely high rewatchability. So I'm okay with those numbers. It could be a little higher in my opinion.
Yeah, dude, it's a cool post. Actually, I'll be honest with you. For a while yesterday, this thing was in the 70s on the fan rating, so it bumped up a little bit today.
Fuck you.
Yeah, it got a little hate in there, man. But yeah, I think overall the people like it.
Hell yeah, man. And I know these people are going to be freaking loving the freaking content we have freaking coming up. So we're going to skim through this really, really quick and we'll send you all your merry way. Tomorrow, I will be releasing the Scream 5 Trivia Challenge. This is the last Trivia Challenge for a good little bit. We do plan on bringing back the Trivia Challenge video series in the future, in the near future, hopefully. So we're going to end it with a freaking banger with Scream 5. So it's going to be released tomorrow afternoon. And then freaking Scream 6 week. So you know what that means. Brad, Thursday night, or just as soon as possible on Thursday.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna be doing the real rapid review, spoiler-free thoughts, our first initial thoughts coming out of the theater for Scream 6, man. And of course, over the weekend, we're gonna talk full spoilers. We're gonna do our thing with our next live interactive movie review. So that's gonna be a lot of fun, man. We're excited to dive into that. That's gonna be interesting, obviously, to do this format after just seeing the movie one time or maybe twice if you're Birdie. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be really cool, and we're gonna have some fun.
Yeah, gonna have an absolute fun time for that one. This would be next Sunday at 5 o'clock Eastern time. And then, of course, the day after that one, we'll be releasing our Scream franchise ranking with the inclusion of Scream 6. So that would be. I'm going to plan on making this a premiere video on, like I would say, maybe Monday or a Tuesday. Me and Brad will talk the dates and give you a exact detail on that. So that's all the amazing Scream content you could be looking forward to for this week and early the following week. So Brad, what I also got coming up on the channel is our freaking pre-recorded Slash It Out we did between Child's Play 2019 versus Megan.
Yeah, dude, be on the lookout for more of these pre-recorded slash it outs. We like doing them live, but we found that it's just hard to do as many as we want to do with our live schedule because we have all these other shows that we like to do as well. So, so see that Megan just dropped an unrated cut on Peacock, so we watched it, and obviously it's a direct ripoff of Child's Play 2019. So we figured, let's fucking compare them. Let's see which one did it better.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, on March the 10th, because like it's like March the 9th, it is a 5-year anniversary for this particular movie. So, we decided to freaking celebrate it just because, how much Brad loves this movie. I'm just kidding. I love this movie. And that is going to be on March the 10th. We're going to do a Strangers Pray at Night watch party because it will be turning 5 years old. And we're going to be bringing on special guests, Destiny, because she has this in her top 3 favorite horror movies of all time, and Brad is still looking for a mysterious partner to help him watch this movie with.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Might be Jack Daniels, but we'll see.
Hey, you ain't Jack for shit. And then, of course, this is the month of March, so what's coming soon? The real March Madness tournament of 2023, and we will be covering the freaking 90s movies. So this is all movies in the 90s, and we're getting the 64 best to freaking duke it out. We are going to be releasing the bracket on so at some point on March the 12th, and we'll be doing the whole live stream, the whole tournament in one freaking stream on March 31st at 8 o'clock Eastern time.
That's the lead bracket.
Yeah. Oh my God, we are not freaking doing this again. But man, Brad, anything else before we freaking officially close out?
No, man, that's it. I feel good about tonight. We had a lot of fun. Sad that Scream's already over. This was the fastest big review series we've done, just because of movies. But yeah, excited to see the big one, the one we've all been waiting for this week. So I wouldn't say it's quite over yet, but it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, man. And then just to give a sneak peek for our next interactive movie review series, we're pretty much bringing something back from the dead. We're bringing Evil back from the dead. We're pretty much dead gumming. I'll say it. We're doing the Evil Dead franchise coming soon.
Yeah, hell yeah, we are, man. That's gonna be fun, and that's gonna be a nice requel of our first review series we ever did on the channel. So hell yeah.
Yeah, man, we're going to be doing freaking better. And guys, thank you so much for voting and everything. And if you're watching after the fact, what do you think about Screen 5? Do you agree with the audience rating? Do you agree kind of like with our thoughts, or do you have different opinions than we do? Let us know in that comment section down below, and let's get that discussion rolling.
And if you want to help us find the good reels, the links to all of our social medias are right down below. Patreon's there as well as the memberships are there somewhere as well. So take a look at it, and we'll rock and roll together.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, we are going to freaking close out. It is Scream Week again. Kind of like you see on my pinned message in the chat. Be very careful because some of the reviews are coming out for Scream 6, and I don't trust people to keep it spoiler free. So, be very, very careful on social media this week. We're going to be like freaking like hawks looking for a mouse on our socials to make sure no one's posting any spoilers. But other than that, we will see you guys when we see you, and we'll just see you then.
Goodbye.